Talking 3 and out here, and now it's time to give out midterm grades, Charles, as we're past halfway going into district season, and so let's look at some of the highlight teams and assess where they're at right now. Okay. I'm going to say, you know, from the very get-go that if you're going to put the Cleveland Storm in there at first, I'm going to say it's a B+ or an A-. And I know they only have one loss, and I know it was against a good Centennial team, but I think this team was poised to be fantastic this season. And they could clearly be the #1 team in the state without that loss, which would set up that nice duel against Hobbs that we never got to see. Potentially we'll see it in the state playoffs. So I'll actually give them an A-. They did win the APS Metro tournament, but I think that one blemish with the soft schedule so far, not counting the APS Metro tournament, that they probably should have won that game.
No, I agree. About an A-, B+, because of the soft schedule, and then when they had a chance to beat a quote-unquote powerhouse in Centennial, they didn't get the job done. So you have to fault them a little bit, but they bounced back, won a very tough Metro tournament, their first one in their school's existence, even though they're still new. So B+, A- is that's a good score, I think, for them right now. Okay. Now let's get to your guys, Rio Rancho Rams.
All right, let's get to them Rams. What do you think?
One of the top scoring teams in the state, a phenomenal player, Brady Patterson. They're what, 12-4, 12-5? I have to give them a
12-4.
I'm gonna go with a B, and this is why I'm gonna go with a B. I think they lost some games that they could have probably won if they probably would have put together more of a complete effort. The Cibola game, they didn't shoot well. Albuquerque High, I won't count this because there's no Brady Patterson, and as we all know, with Brady Patterson, that's a completely different looking team. So you have to factor it in there. It just doesn't weigh as much. So I think a B for right now, and only because their inside play hasn't been as strong as I would like it to be. I think if someone can step up a little bit more inside, I can push them up to like a B+, maybe A-.
I think they're an A. I think because of, I don't think anybody expected them, even with Brady Patterson, to be doing what they're doing. And they made their way nicely. 2 wins against Hope Christian through the APS Metro tournament. They won 3 of 4 games. They beat Atrisco Heritage on a neutral court. And so I think Rio Rancho Rams, an off night against Cibola, have plenty of opportunities in their district. I don't think anybody expected them to be where they're at. That's why, looking at where we assessed them at the beginning of the year, a couple of their losses when Brady Patterson wasn't there, and one of the losses, Brady Patterson had just got back. It was his first game, so the team had not gelled yet. I'm going to give Coach Salata and company an A on that one. Now let's talk about your Bulldogs, Charles. I think that these Albuquerque High Bulldogs kind of flew under the radar. You and I knew they were going to be good. They had a loss to Cibola and answered the bell with then 2 straight victories against good teams. I like their answer after being undefeated. I like their record currently. They're 12-1 in the season. I'm going to go an A for sure. Ron Garcia's done a great job with this young guards developing.
Sure.
Yeah, A.
Wow. Okay, being a homer, of course I want to give them an A. But
you've got to give them an A.
But look, they're 12-1. The
12-1? What else do you want?
Listen, the schedule was soft.
So?
But they bounced back in that tournament. They played some teams that people probably were betting against them, saying they would lose. Moving forward with Hope and Valley. I'm still a little worried about the inside play. They're a small team, so they have to be real gritty and fight a lot. But a B+ for them, A-. The best I can get in right now is an A-, but I'm going to go B+, because I think after this weekend.
You're out of control. One loss on the season, a close loss to
Cibola. I know. I'm going B+ for the Bulldogs.
No, you're ridiculous. You can't be 12-1 and get a B+, especially when it's Albuquerque High that no one thought they were going to do anything, even though you had inside info knowing they would be good. You saw that district. What would you grade the district?
That district?
Yeah, District 5
Let's get that district back up there again, because then I can see why.
Okay.
Overall, you know what? I would have given them an A, but Rio Grande has slipped.
Yeah.
Valley has a losing record.
I'm going to go with a B.
I'm going with a B.
Because of the APS Metro didn't bode too well for this district, but I'm going to go with a B for this district. I think before APS, I would have given them an A+.
Yes.
Right?
They were winning games. They had the best overall district record. A lot of the teams.
What about District 2 of 6A? La Cueva, El Dorado, Manzano, Sandia, and Highland. It's easy for me, Charles. They failed. They have an F.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and it's a bad F. It's like a 32%. You know, you got to get a 60% to get a D. They've got a 32% in the class. They're not doing their homework. They're not turning in any assignments at all. Sometimes they don't even show up. It's an F for me.
So why couldn't we just give them a drop? Like college?
Withdraw? They
Yeah,
needed to withdraw the
Let's
season.
do a withdrawal.
Yeah.
I don't want to get accused.
Do you have a lot of
F.
those withdrawals?
No, I went to class, man.
I withdrawed a few times.
I'm gonna give him a W, not for the win, for withdrawal, because this has been a bad season for that district.
Okay.
We're
A
getting out
drop
of
is bad,
control.
though. No, right now, you'd have to drop because you're so deep in the season.
Yeah, they're so deep
it's
in
too
the,
late to
well,
withdraw.
They're
They
only
can't.
gonna get one team in the state
Yeah,
tournament,
whoever
and
wins.
then they're gonna get a somewhat higher seed because the district champ can finish below, I guess, like runner, whatever the rules are. I gotta remember the rules, but they're gonna get a fairly decent seeding and still probably lose that first round game.
We got to get into this AFC NFC championship moving on here on 3 and Out. And it's, of course, it's the two best games of the season coming down. And shockingly, the Colts have made it in. But let's first talk about the Seahawks and the Packers. It's a rematch from the opening game of the season.
Yeah.
Again, it's at Seattle. You remember Seattle owned Green Bay
Yes.
in that one. Made them look terrible. They're both 13-4 in the season. Charles, I think it continues. I think the Hawks are too good defensively. I think Green Bay can keep it close because that's how good Rodgers is. But the pressure on Rodgers is going to be a lot more than it was for the Cowboys. That home field is for real. That man right there, Richard Sherman, is for real. I'm going to go with Seahawks. I think they win it 27-20.
Okay. You know what? Hard to argue that. You have an injured Rodgers, and it's getting worse by the weeks. His mobility is going to be limited. The first time they played Green Bay, they didn't blitz. They sat back. They got pressure. They got tons of pressure
They'll
with
get
four
it
guys.
with their 4 guys. They don't need to blitz.
I think this week, maybe in the beginning, they'll blitz just to see if he can make some moves and get around and move around the pocket. But other than that, I can't see him passing on Sherman, Chancellor. You got Wagner out there flying around. I'm going Seahawks 34-20 over the Packers.
Okay, so let's go to the other game. It's the Patriots hosting the Colts. You know, I think this one's a blowout, to be honest. I don't think the Colts belong. I really don't. Maybe it's because of how the Cowboys defeated them earlier in the season, but I just think defensively,
Everyone had a bad loss.
Tom Brady is going to own this.
Okay.
I think it's going to be something like 30-10, 30-14 win for the Patriots. I think Tom Brady is going to his 6th Super Bowl all time. Can you believe that?
I think the young fella Luck is about to put his mark on the NFL this weekend. I got the Colts winning it 27-21 in Foxborough over pretty Tom Brady with the hair and the Uggs.
That's a terrible pick.
No, it's not.
You're out of control.
You picked the Oregon Ducks.
Wow.
That's my case.
I don't have a rebuttal. Timeout coming up next. It's uSports Central.